Let me get over your shoulder.
I've got camp set up, so usually when I get into camp, the first thing I do, usually if there's water supplies before the camp, I just fill up my CNOC bag and my water bottles if they need it, and I carry that to camp because I don't like to make an extra trip to the water source. Of course, here it's a little bit easier. I mean, the river's right there, but usually when I get to camp, I get my water, and then depending on what time it is, depending on the time and everything, I usually go ahead and heat my water up and let my stuff start cooking in the baggie so that, and while I'm setting up camp, and then by the time I'm setting up my hammock and everything, everything's done fixed, warmed up. So that's the way I do the first thing. The first thing I get water and then, or fill it up as I'm coming in. And then usually depending on the time, I just go ahead and heat my water up and put everything in what I'm gonna eat for supper. And while that's getting good and wet and soaked in, because it's usually some type of noodles or something, if I feel like that. And I set up my hammock, and by the time I've got my hammock set up or where I'm gonna sleep at for the night, it's done. So I am going to sit here and try to fix me something to eat. While I'm waiting for my water to boil, I'm gonna fix some of these ramen noodles. Looks like they're about 370 per container, and there's 2 servings. So what's that? 6. I'll have to get my calculator. 6. Then 7, 7's 140. 6, 740 or something like that. So then you got this, and then I'm gonna try some of these Hartford Rip and Ready meatballs. Now the way that I cook is I've got a quart size freezer bag, and then I put all my stuff in a freezer bag and just kind of let it percolate while I'm doing stuff around camp. So anyway, I've done put my meatballs in here, and I'm gonna get my ramen. Now I break mine up in the bag here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then I always open it up and get that sauce packet out wherever it's at. It's right here. Make sure I fondle and touch every bit of the ramen. So I'm gonna take that and throw it back in my bag. And then I've got one of these ragu for one traditional sauce. It's got olive oil in it, and it's like 60 calories. I mean, this stuff ain't the lightest in the world, but I figured with one night tonight coming up that it would be a halfway decent heartburn city meal for me. So anyway, we're gonna try it out and see what it is. I know it ain't gonna be no probably tastes like Chef Boyardee or something other, or Chef Boyard JR, one of those things, but we're gonna try it out. I do keep a gallon sized trash bag with me. It's just a gallon sized freezer bag. My pot's boiling here. I got a little bit of leaf or something or other in here. Let me go ahead and put these in, and then the noodles and stuff, you have to keep on stirring them, because sometimes they'll scorch on the bottom of the pan and everything. Another reason why this is a brand new can, I'm trying to see how many cooks I can get out of a can, because I've never really measured it. I just usually get each town stop I just get a new fuel if I'm able to, but I've always been able to do that while I'm hiking, and you know, you never know. And like I say, I'm gonna try and see what I can get out of this thing on it. Now, I'm not big on, this will be the only meal that I cook on this one. I'm not big on cooking in the mornings. Sometimes if it's real cold, I may heat me some water for a cup of coffee. I didn't bring no coffee on this trip. It's just, I love a good cup of coffee, but I forgot it. As far as coffee, I just get those instant. I just get me a thing of instant and put it in a Ziploc bag and just take out what I need on it. I mean, it ain't that heavy on it. It's percolating right along. I do fix some hot chocolate sometimes on a cold night before I go to bed. Chocolate seems to keep me awake. So anyway, we will see how this goes on it. Now this is something I've never tried. I was just shopping, and prices, golly, over there at the food line, them things is outrageous. I think the cheapest thing on here was these ramen noodles, and you could get a dozen packs of them. I think this was like $4.99 for the meatballs, and the ragu's like, I think for a box of 4 of them things, it was $7, $7.99, something like that. So not real cheap, and it's not, to me, I mean, I know you get bored hiking and stuff, because I get bored with the same food all the time. So just something that you got to look into, you know, as far as what you want to cook. The anchoring's falling from the tree. Sounds like it's somebody coming up behind you or something or other. Well, I think that's about percolated up enough. And then I'm just going to pour this in here. Stir it up, kind of. And the heat off of the ramen here will actually, you know, help percolate everything in here. Now I use a spork, so you gotta be careful not to poke the bag, or you'll have bigger problems than that. You'll have stuff leaking all over. Now I usually don't drink the last bit of the water or anything like that out of it, or anything like that. But this is going to percolate pretty good. I think it's going to actually, it looks like spaghetti. We'll see if it tastes like it here in a minute. Well, the sauce kind of tastes like Chef Boyardee's, I guess. Maybe I wasn't too far off. Alright, we're going to let that heat up for a little bit, and then I guess we'll walk down here to the creek and see if we can get a little bit of water on it. Getting ready to try out some of this food. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. I'll let you form an opinion. on it. Yeah, it kind of looks like spaghetti. Let's try it out and see how it tastes. It ain't no Olive Garden, but it ain't half bad. Well, that's pretty good. Just get you some ramen noodles and some of them Hartford meatballs in a package like this, and then some of that meat sauce, and that's pretty good. And you're looking, what, $3.70 and $2.30 and $60. Let's say that's $4.60, so $3.70, $4.60, and $60. Alrighty, y'all have a. I'm gonna eat this for a little bit, so you ain't gonna have to eat me watch me gobble it down. When I get done eating, whenever I get done eating, and there's rosin from them pine trees on this table. But anyway, when I get done eating, I got these quart-size Ziploc bags, and I just take my trash from what I've opened up and stuff, and I just stick it down in here, and then zip up the Ziploc bag or close it, whatever. These was the ones that was on special. And then I just take my trash, and I've got this gallon sized one. Just take this trash and put it down in here. And after a couple days, you got a lot of trash that you're carrying out. So I try to dispose of my trash every time that I can.